Hello everybody, JaffaArchfiend here. Well, we're on to part 11 now for the Final Fantasy XIV expansion, Dawntrail, part 11. So we just finished the dungeon, that video should be up and running. So let's have a gander and see what we've got going on here then, shall we?
What greeted us was not the home that I had left behind.
Whoa, okay.
There was no mistaking we had reached Yassulan. And yet, it was wholly unlike my memories. The lands of my childhood had changed beyond imagining.
What in the hell, Spawn?
To where had I returned? We tread on, the darkened skies above a mirror to my heart, clouded with fear and uncertainty.
This is from another world.
How bizarre. This cannot be Yassolani, can it?
That is attached to the ceiling of the dome, I presume. There's no doubt emitting it. Okay. I've heard for something strange, but this is like another world. I don't understand. I don't think we're in a reflection, no, I think it's just parts of the reflection are coming up into this world. I think. The land of Levin. Levin being lightning. And a very apt description, I would say. Doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. The materials are not something we use in Terral. It's closer to what we saw at the gate to the Golden City, or those mechanical soldiers. Such a massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in so short a time. And I'm inclined to assume we've been transported to another location. Or perhaps... Well, speculation will avail us not. We need to learn more before we can draw conclusions. Let's take a look around then. Again, I don't, because looking at the Aetherites, I don't think we've been transported into another world. There's not the usual sensation for that. No. No, what I think's happened here is another defective turrets. Another world has been brought into ours. Somehow. However it's been done, it looks like they've transported a good chunk of their stuff here. Which would explain the nigh on instant building of things. Grabbing this Aetherite and tune into it, just in case something goes weird. Otherwise, there's not really another way back in here, is there? That looks like a train station, doesn't it? That must be Yasolani Station, where the passengers disembarked. Perhaps we'll find someone to talk to there. Let's go and investigate. This whole place is just... Go. Lamp sorted. Etherite is of Terali design. Pretty sure this is Yasolani Station. The state of it, I'd swear it was abandoned years ago. Not sure what to make of this. We should look around a bit more. Oh, please don't tell me time dilation's going on here, is it? Ugh. For context, the different reflections or shards each move at their own time speed. Sometimes they're in sync with the source, other times they're moving faster than the source, other times they're moving slower than the source, and it can vary from like day to day sometimes. So one day, one world could be moving faster than the source, the next day it could be moving slower than the source, or it could be moving at the same speed as the source. So everything here has been kind of... Has it been used in years? Miss enormous alien structures with more familiar sense like the station. So I'm inclined to think that time is not working the way it should be here. Suggests that whatever world that these guys are coming from moves at a significantly faster speed, temporally speaking, than we are. It's the only thing I can think of. Is that a soldier? Just standing there. Finish looking around, have you? Gather everyone. I want you all to look at this. It's one of the mechanical soldiers. Lance is broken, apparently. I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zeral Shah's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Learn anything? So evidence suggests this is Yasolani Station. Aye, with no doubt we're in Yasolani. I don't know why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to deteriorate and enormous ones to appear in a flash, if I didn't know better, I'd say time flows differently here. Such a thing even possible? We've encountered this phenomenon before, so it happens. Though made difficult to believe, our world is but one of several. In some respects, they are similar to one another, but in others, wholly different. We call them reflections. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at a different pace in each world. While hours pass in one, years may have come and gone in another. But if this is Yasolani, then we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow all this talk of reflections and dimensions, but if Erenville says this is Yasolani, then it must be. Your village is a little further along, right? Erenville. Oh, yes, it's a short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next then. Other than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning. Doesn't seem to be hostile, at least. Perhaps we can ask it some questions. Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials. Please present citizen identification. Unable to confirm credentials. Confirm. Confirm. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by a half. At least leave it be and get going. Are those lightning rods? I would imagine so. Would you accompany for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. So that's what the aiming gear looks... Oh no, that's just from the PvP stuff. I do like that for the robots, they don't have a breathing animation. If you're watching... We're just standing still, we've got a breathing animation and movement. The machine... Nothing. So it's not even just a case of reskinning the Hero or anything like that. It's not even just a case of reskinning the Hero model. Yeah, human model, or unfamiliar terminology. Look there. The lightning appears to be drawn to those pole-shaped structures over yonder. Design suggests there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. Static. Weather. Okay, we can actually get an idea now of how far up this dome is, at least. That's a fair distance up in the air, that. This material appears to be the same as that used in mechanical soldiers and warships. Closer inspection, it appears to have fine etchings, rather reminiscent of arcane runes these. I suspect they're not merely decorative. I would posit it's used to harness lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Stola. For a blessing, the dome doesn't appear to interfere with flame pearls. Thanks for accompanying me. Let's head to the village and find the others. Okay, so whilst years may have passed in brief time here, at the moment we're synchronized, maybe? Well, let's hope that synchronization stays true for now. What in the world? Another broken down machine.
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone?
Hello? You look far too pretty and pristine to be out here.
I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sriracha has told me a great deal about you.
Nothing flattering, I presume.
Sriracha?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria.
Oh, wow, okay.
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Wow. Okay.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Zorulja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Uh-huh.
Then you're both behind the attack on Tuliyola.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight.
Uh-huh.
Zorulja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Oh?
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Zorulja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the Queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it.
Uh-huh.
A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yasolani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know.
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliyola suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliyola. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barrier surrounding our realm.
Oh,
Does this
boy.
not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the First. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope.
In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
Good point. Very good point.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
Yeah, we need to check on Aaronville's folks.
Ah, you're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tulihyolal?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tulihyolal.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
You gave him the tech.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot
I
from
wish I
you
could
and
read
your
that script.
Wonderful.
There's also some script on
If you
her
would
chest
follow
plate
me.
thing there. Take it there with trouble with Zorolja. Isn't it a little odd for the Queen to be walking about on her lonesome?
Is that concern or suspicion?
Both. Very much both.
If things should take a turn for the worse, might I call upon your aid?
Ay, ay, ay.
I jest, of course. But you do strike me as the most capable here.
I'm not gonna lie. Queen Sphene. Alright. And we're in Alexandria. Oh boy. Final Fantasy IX is having a field day with this. I think it goes without saying. We're not just going to trust her just like that, right? Anyway, you look at it, a mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere, proclaiming herself a queen, is suspicious. Yeah. It's a wee bit on the sus side. The 8th Orbital Calamity being the alternate timeline that's occurred that the events of Shadowbringers helped prevent from coming about. So, Rahati has got kind of 2 timelines worth of memories in his head. Kind of. Well, having established that we should be wary, we could use more information. So let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. Perhaps about Sphene as well. Looks like some kind of irrigation system. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Toral? They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all these machines do. We settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Torali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. The environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. What? Electrope. It's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. A topic for another time, perhaps. If you follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. Another fuel source by the looks of things. Derived from the lightning, perhaps? Seems to be in order here. I'm gonna go grab myself that etherite. Trees are a weird ass shape though. Then again, being stuck in here, I suppose. There's a Vera when you need one. Although I suppose you're a little bit young. Depends how long it's been in here. That's the real question. How long's it been in here? So this is Tunnel Watson Village, then. Or is it? Okay.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
Everyone's got these devices on them.
You look well, Paquine. And Catogne, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as Queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Lamachi.
Me?
Personable.
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve, Wuk-Lamart, and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true, then. Wuk-Lamart is still so young. Oh, where are my manners? I am Popone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawautan ring to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Kavkiwa?
Kavkiwa? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
Oh, you've seen her! You've met her!
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Uh-oh.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
Robot on patrol there.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Popone. After 30 years, no one can blame you for not remembering.
30 years?!
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
Jesus.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself
that explains that
is an
line.
unforeseen blessing.
That explains that dialogue.
30 years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
But we're synced up now, right? Meaning this is a piece of another reflection? I suppose time is still passing faster in here. Yeah, get that question out of the way, just in case.
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern.
Oh boy.
And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
So the dome appeared, Zoralja's base was completed, then the fleet came out.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more
And
information.
in that space of time when the dome appeared, between the
Sven,
dome appearing,
would it be
and the
alright if we had a
fleet
look
appearing,
around
that was
and
30
spoke
years.
with the townspeople?
that was maybe all 30 seconds,
By
maybe?
all means.
Oh boy.
Time
now
to
it's-
see what we can see of Alexandria then.
At least now it's all synced up, at least.
Oh boy.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yasolani.
Although 30 years older, at least.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Ada Persniak, or however you pronounce
Perhaps
that
you
name.
care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would like to investigate this electrope stuff
I
a
would
bit.
join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very well, but do be careful.
Aha, that sounds like she's quite
Of
prone to
course.
distraction.
I shall proceed with the utmost care. Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
Right, are we going to get the answer about what the hell's on everyone's heads? Suspecting some kind of data link, maybe?
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine. And that's enough for me.
And that's about the one thing we can trust so far. She likes them and they like her. Yeah, we're coming. No need to check up on us. Good lord. Electrope has done much to improve the efficiency of their farming, but hasn't replaced everything. The people wanted to preserve their old way of life, and we did not want to force ours upon them. We went to such lengths so that our cultures could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue, for the Turali tongue is surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect, understanding, and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. I'm sure there's much you wish to learn as well, so please, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Rather than bore you with lengthy explanations, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Hiopoi's Halo, it is called. We can speak with one of the farmers when we arrive. I guess we're off to Hiopoi's Halo. Before we head there, I'm going to grab this gemstone trader. Just checking out your glam. Neat. Oh god, the full... Alright, let's see what the... Okay, so that's what fending looks like. That's maiming. That's the striking gear. Good god. Scouting gear. Aiming. Yeah. Forecast terminal. Thank you for accessing the forecast terminal. Acquiring meteorological data. Alright, head to the farm now. I think we've had enough sightseeing at this point. It is interesting though. I wonder if this electrope can be gathered up anywhere else outside of these kind of high 11 areas. Allow me to introduce you to Marquesa, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the elder farmers is what has allowed this place to flourish. Queen Sphene, what do I do this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for interruption. I've come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, so I invited them to see how our crops are grown. I do hope that's all right. So the rumors of visitors from the outside were true. What manner of host would be to deny them a look around? And I gather your majesty also intended to check on things here? You know me too well, Master. I thought to seize the opportunity to see how the farmers fare, and perhaps pepper them with a few questions, though I do so enjoy observing and taking part in the work too. Sorry, I just can't imagine you trying to do farm work in that dress. It would appear we have our permission, so please, walk the grounds to your heart's content. Oh, sorry, in that outfit, doing farm work. Nope. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sven company. No, Mr. Zand, I'm not the suspicious type. Given our positions, it would make sense for us to go around together. Would you say? It would make sense for us to go around together, would you say? A fair point, but be sure not to let me out of your sight. Ay. I shall remain under Wuklomat's watchful eye. Pray, come find us after you've seen your fill and spoken with the other farmhands. Oh, joy. Now there's 2 of them. Oof. Alright. Let's have a gander here, shall we then? At least it should be easy to spot them, and Sven's glowing like a nightlight. Oh god, yeah, Kona would be having a field day with all this. Interesting. They light up in... Okay, that's either a case of stuff, you know, reacting to presence, or visual kind of, you know, distance things. But if it's the reacting to presence option, then that's a very interesting piece of kit there. Light levels are pretty fine. As for the power source, you should know about my job. I tend to the fields mostly, watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. Admittedly, it took some time until I feel I understood how best to carry out my duties. I also manage the lamps we use in the fields. We do our best to keep everything up to code, but should they ever start to malfunction, it's up to me to fix them. The land and sky being what they are, ensuring a rich harvest makes for constant work. Honestly, I enjoy how involved the process is. Both my parents being Alexandrian, I didn't grow up much knowing anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn and grow. Oh, an unfamiliar face. Guess it's your first time on site then, yeah? Oh, here's the storehouse, or rather the entrance. The real storehouse is underground, much more spacious, and equipped with a temperature regulation system to keep the harvest from spoiling. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside. It also makes it a viable facility for breeding and raising livestock. We've even got a few beds down there for emergencies. My parents often complain about how Alexandrian technology and electro complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job for instance. I'm presently overseeing the storage of harvested crops. They'll be taken up to the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction in what we do. Okay. You're saying that you and your visitors will be on the barrier? That true? So it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you. I'm quite content with life here in Alexandria. Setting that aside, you're here to observe our work, right? As you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Whipple's Halo, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending the animals is an absolute joy, but I have to be careful not to grow attached. It's always a little sad when they're shipped off, but a job is a job. Why don't you get back to it? Nice talking to you. Please give my regards to the Queen. Seems above board? Well, seems above board. See, don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would be hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice your return. I'd gather you've had your fill speaking with the farmers. Let's return to Mahuesa. Well, what are your impressions of the farm? Everything was surprisingly normal. It's amazing that everyone loves their work. The electrode is quite impressive. A curious observation. Do you not love your own work? Oh, but I jest. It's true that people of the outskirts seem the most fulfilled. Always, they take to their duties with good cheer. What did you think of our Lord Lamati? What did you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by the name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed. The machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment is amazing. I've never seen anything like it. The feeling is understandable. Indeed, many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You needn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often. Put simply, it's taken in water that has strong lightning charge. We think some creatures have become charged up with the energy, and they're releasing it into the river we use as a source. This system would return to normal if the creatures were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg it of the army. We could take care of it if you like. That is most gracious for you to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the vow of resolve of Tulialol. Regardless of how the relationship between our nations may develop, if there are people in need, I want to help. Simple as that. He's even stronger than I am. Shouldn't take us long at all. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take all care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning-charged fiends on our own. Good hunting. Alrighty. Going on there. Alright, let's have a gander here, shall we then? Level up gave me 2 charges of Tetra nutrition. That's always good. Alrighty, the next mob should be down there. That seems to be it for now. Again, I do wonder how this electro stuff works. Ah, you're both alright, thank goodness. You really needn't have worried so much. Barely broke a sweat dealing with the fiends. They're all gone now. Of course I was worried. You're my dear guests. But thank you. We truly appreciate this. Indeed, with this we won't have to ask Zoralja's machines for help. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike Queen Sveen. That's enough, Mohesa. If you have grievances, I will hear them later. To speak of the king now. No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us tour the farm. Folk here are delightful, and it was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. You never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course! You're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sportsfiend, that I'll admit. You'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. For you to be called that, I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. Now, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? Okay. Little bit of a cannot possibly fail, cannot fail, cannot fail, cannot fail, cannot fail mentality going on there, methinks. Which could be a bit of a dangerous thing there. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. Thanks for dealing with the fiends. Come and visit us anytime. Okay, so there's a way to tell the difference between day and night in this place. I was kind of wondering. So yeah, as it turned 6 AM there in game time, the place did lighten up a bit, so... But only a little bit. It's not quite as bad as when the first was devoured by light, but... there's so much of Alexandria I'd love to show you. Do you hear that? Oh god, what now?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
For what? Let's go see what's going on then, shall we?
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sveen has come to see you.
Namika?
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
This is Namika? Good God.
What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
30 years.
Namika, it's me. Wuklamat.
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
Soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on in us.
Living on in memory. The giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Well, Clamart, go give her a hug.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time.
Yeah.
Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
Question though is which reflection?
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a void gate, or even with the Crystal Tower.
The Crystal Tower is able to just displace
In
itself.
essence, we are
This is
dealing with a
whole
localized
dome.
instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining.
Definitely.
Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
Very good question.
I wish that I had an answer for you, but
This talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding.
Huh.
I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm.
Oh!
The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
This could be from the reflection that
I see.
was sundered by lightning.
And it was only later
tribute.
that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
Interesting.
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
That's not accurate, is it?
Ah, but of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder.
Aha! Way to dodge the subject there.
Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
Of course not.
That you'd let us in it all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount.
There.
I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm.
A fair response.
It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Kafkiwa, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I am afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
Aha. This is the whole, I can't say much, but I can say this much. I have to be cryptic and obtuse.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
Oh no!
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Old woman.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh boy.
Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud.
What's the
Oh, I really must be getting back to work.
You and I, outside of all this, know what a cloud is in terms of this. Their memories of her have been uploaded to Google Drive, basically. And they don't have access to it in their own heads. Meanwhile, they have no context for that, and they think it's just, you know, in the literal cloud. Oh boy. What's going on? How could Pia Penn suddenly forget about Namika? It's as if he never knew her. Could the same thing have happened to others as well, I wonder? There's only one way to find out. To make inquiries about Namika in the area. We can reconvene afterwards at the Aetherites. Oh boy. A woman named Namika? I don't know that person, so I can be of help. I do recall caring for someone until recently. You say it was a woman named Namika? Well, I can't say for certain if it was her. I wonder. I'm sure she's just been taken up to the cloud. Me no wanting that! Oh, no, no, no. I don't... What's that? Do I know a Namika? I never met anyone by that name. I've worked at the outskirts for a good while now. If she spent time here, I remember. Nope! Oh... I don't like this. So it was the same for everyone. Not a single person remembers Namika. It's as if the memory of her has been purged from their minds. While such a thing might be done with magic, to alter the memories of so many at once would be a tremendous undertaking. We would have felt a surge of ether corresponding to the act too, and I sensed none in that moment. Neither did I, but I did notice something else. Right before Pia Payne seemingly forgot, a light in the device on his head began to blink. Could there be a connection? Someone also said something about soul cells. Who might we ask about this? If we continue making such inquiries, I expect it would only cause confusion. Indeed, we can't really solve the mystery about Namika. Perhaps we could search for Kafakura instead? Sveen said to try the Thunder Yards. It should be in this direction. Hello? What's that? Little robot? Of it. Impossible. Another kind of mechanical soldier? It looks dangerous. We better destroy it. Wah! I don't think it's a mechanical... I don't think it's a soldier. Oh dear. Should we give chase? I think I understood its words. It might be worth asking it some questions. Aaronville, are you alright? You look like you've seen a ghost. It's nothing. I'm fine. Well, it went off the direction we're headed anyway, so let's try to track it down. I swear to God, if this is a familiar in the same way of your Stola's little water familiars. Aha! There's the robot. Let's head into those mines by the looks of things. Found it? To the northeast. It must be bound for the mines. Come on then. It could well be a trap, so let's not rush it too quickly. Indeed. I heard faint voices coming from inside. He's not alone. We're still going in, of course. This may be a trap. Be ready for a fight, everyone. Down we go. Earth and sky. Ether current. Hear them. Several people up ahead. Can't make out a conversation with the echoing. Let's keep going. Stay on your guard. This might be voice acted, I think. Hello, little robot.
What is this?
Ironville!
Hey, hey! It's the Daybreakers!
A trap?
No, wait, no.
It really is you!
Huh?
Who?
I just had to get a look at you in the light. And I can still hardly believe my eyes. But it is you, my darling Elderspiel!
Oh god, it's his mum!
My darling, what now?
Put up with the guns.
Oh, it's so good to see you, my fussy little bun. What are you doing here? What brings you all this way?
Bun Bun. That's his mother. Fussy little Bun Bun?
the long face? Aren't you happy to see me after all this time?
Oh god, it is his mother.
I know that laugh anywhere. Mother?
Wait. Since when was your mother a weird floating thing?
And what have we here? Say, aren't you Gulu Jaja's kin?
Yeah, that's his mother, alright. Oh god.
I knew I recognized that adorable fuzzy face. LMS was always so excited whenever you invited him over to play. You remember me, I hope?
It's...
I can't say that I do, but you know my father?
Appearances notwithstanding, it would seem this is my mother, Kafkiwa.
I'm sorry?
Oh, this won't do. Come in! Friends of my LNSP are always welcome.
All I ask is a little forewarning, but no.
Dude, we're as confused as you! I'm guessing she's in the cloud.
Just when I thought I was starting to get a handle on this place. How are things still getting stranger?
Love, if what's gonna happen next is what I think it is, it's gonna get even weirder. Even by our usual standards. Oh god, the music in here. As far as I can tell, this is indeed my mother. I can think of few people in the world quite so spirited. As to what's happened, we'll need to ask her. Let's see what she has to say. It's so wonderful to meet you all. And the students of Baldessian. It's been a while since I heard that name. Dare I ask the reason for your appearance? Oh, this! It's just a body I can control remotely. I use this for our operations. Okay, so she's not on the cloud then. I think. We're members of a resistance organization. Oblivion, we call ourselves. And our goal is to thwart Zoralja's ambitions for conquest. As a leader, it's prudent I remain where I can't be easily found. I see, whimsical appearances notwithstanding, yours is a serious cause. Right you are, though truth be told, Oblivion was founded for an altogether different purpose. And that is... As I expect you've already noticed, everything you see within this dome, the buildings, the people, the very earth beneath our feet, is a fusion of two worlds. Stopping such a fusion was Oblivion's original mission. Then does that mean you know who or what is responsible for it? I'm afraid not. This was a long time ago, and our mission statement has become more of a legend that's passed down to members. By the time we joined, our sole objective was stopping Zoralja. But we failed to do that, and now he's taken his army outside the dome. None of you wear those strange devices in your heads. Does that have something to do with your work? You mean this? It's a regulator, the pinnacle of electrope technology, and that we don't wear it is indeed related to our operations. What exactly does it do? Allow me to explain. Regulators have two primary functions. The first, as the name suggests, is the regulation of the wearer's reserve of souls. Should they die, the regulator expends a soul to bring them back to life. Reserve? You mean people walk around carrying spare souls? They do. Souls are packaged in cells and can be used to replenish the life force that is lost due to sudden death, such as in accidents. They do nothing for those who die of old age, though. Distribution of soul cells is based on one's work evaluation, to encourage exemplary performance when fulfilling their duties. Souls as a common resource in payment for services rendered. Yeah, that's a bit. Oof. The Voidsent practice of consuming others for their ether comes to mind, and similarly, I expect that the act comes with some risk. When Voidsent consume one another, as we explore through Endwalker, they kind of take on aspects of the other's, you know, memories and personality and all that. When the consciousness of others corrupt your own? That is prevented through memory management, a process in which regulators also play a role. Memory management? Then the reason everyone has forgotten Namika's existence. The regulators are constantly recording the memories of the wearer, so if they should suddenly die, their memories can be refreshed as part of the restoration process. This is how they preserve one's identity and sense of self. However, the regulators are also triggered when someone else dies. Reason being is that regulators forcibly extract memories related to the deceased from anyone wearing one. Why would they do such a thing? It's a kindness bestowed upon the people by Everkeep's core system, so that no one has to suffer the pain of loss. Oh joy! So they don't remember what they lost. So this is what they mean by their memories being in the cloud. Indeed, all memories of the deceased are wiped from the minds of the people and archived in the system. It's a frightening function of the regulators, an integral step in soul cell production. Ay, 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 ay. You see, when a person dies of natural causes, their soul is temporarily housed within the regulator. It's then delivered to a facility where memories are separated from the soul. The result is a fresh soul cell, free of impurities, ready for distribution and consumption. Meanwhile, the memories are stored in the core system to be remembered forever. And this is why people are happy here? On the surface, it's similar to the Yokui philosophy, but I see nothing noble or comforting in it. Well, this doesn't seem so terrible to me personally. All comes down to what you're used to, I suppose. Like the barrier encasing Alexandria, this system was created to overcome the calamity that transformed the world hundreds of years ago. Amidst the mounting death toll, scientists used Electrope to devise a means to save what lives they could so the nation could endure. I understand the people of Alexandria did what they believed was best to save their people. I just find it hard to believe that the Turali would also accept this way of living. It came as a shock to us as well. In fact, a great many were opposed to it. Which is why the use of regulators was never compulsory. People have always been free to go without them if they so wish. Sphene didn't strike me as the sort of rule to impose her will on others. Someone's phone in the house. 2 seconds. Back in a second. And back. I really need to get a B. I really need to make a be back later screen on for this thing. So you've already met. She's the one who suggested we come to the Thunder Yards in the first place. She also said she wants to help us stop Zoralja. Awfully kind of her to point you in my direction, and to speak so candidly as well. Whatever her motives, she has given the people a choice. Live with the risk of true death, or the security of the regulators. Everything that lives must someday die. That is the natural order of things. Quite right. But however you feel about them, it would be easier to understand what the regulators are capable of if you saw it for yourself. I know just the person to show you. As luck would have it, they should be starting work right about now. What were you going to see exactly? Come with me and you'll find out. I think I'm going to call it there, though. So, yeah, that's some folks just about to come back and dinner, so I'm going to call it there for the time being. So with that being said, thanks for the stream. Thanks for watching. JaffaArchfiend.